talking me.
So on to the last topic, which is the best topic
what y'all
we have
been waiting
for.
for.
This one. Yeah, it's what we've all been waiting for, right? All of that, all of those rumors and all that news, and it finally happened. We got the PlayStation showcase. They had mad advertisements for it and everything, letting you know that shit was coming out on Thursday at 1 p.m. You be there or you be square.
Before we start breaking this down one by one here, what did you just think overall of the show?
I thought it was a damn good show.
Okay.
I was expecting a couple of other things, but I could see why it wasn't necessary with what they showed us. And I felt like the majority of the show was games I didn't know about or that were rumored, but we finally got like a confirmation or whatnot. It wasn't just rehashes of everything that we've seen already. You know what I mean? So I thought that they did a good job on it. But how'd you feel about it?
It started off with a bang, and we're gonna get into that in a minute. Like, it started off with a bang, and I was like, "Oh snap, this is gonna be the most epic showcase I've ever seen in my life." And it was cool again, and then it was cool again, and then I liked what they showed again. And I'm like looking at the clock and I'm like, snap, dude, like 20 minutes have passed.
Late.
They said it was 40-minute show.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen a single first party game. Like, what is Sony doing? My mind was starting to think like this could be a catastrophe. Like, they haven't shown, like, the games they showed I like and I want to play.
Yeah. But you were looking for the first parties.
Yeah, because Sony said, we're ready to share with you what we've been working on. So I'm ready for all the first parties. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just kept going. Third party. I'm like, snap, this is a show for Xbox fans. I mean, like, everything you see on here, it may be like a timed exclusive, but you'll eventually be able to play this on your Xbox. Everybody's going to be able to play this. So it's like, this is a show for all, you know? And I was getting a little bit like worried, like, dude, does Sony have nothing, man? Do these dudes have nothing? What's going on? I was getting a little concerned. And then they end it with a bang. So in my mind, it's like they started with the bang and ended with the bang. In the middle, they got a little lost, I think. And some of the games in the middle, I was like not too hip about, but some of them I really liked. But I was just thinking that it wasn't enough Sony for me throughout the whole show.
Yeah,
but I liked it.
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking that they did like that. I wasn't at one point thinking like, oh, they're doing a horrible job. I was just looking at all of the different games that were showing up, and it's like, okay, quite a few of those are just for the PlayStation, and then there are some that are like, you know, gonna be available, but there's like time exclusives, which is kind of like, what's the point? But you know,
yeah, like
that's
literally
cool.
Nothing for like the whole middle was exclusive to Sony. It wasn't until like.
So they started getting to the
until
very
Herman
end.
Hulse came out, like the last 10 minutes,
Right.
And said,
here's what we've been working on.
It's like, okay, finally.
Right.
But it was getting so close to the end, and they hadn't shown anything from first party Sony yet.
Yeah.
It was only like multi-plat games or things that were times exclusive that I was like getting really concerned. That I was like, damn, dude, if this is all Sony has, wow, like this isn't good at all. It was getting to be a catastrophe, and then they salvaged it at the end, you know. But I was really hoping like the whole 40 minutes was going to be just Sony first party
bangers.
That would have
been dope.
That was my expectation.
I knew it wasn't going to be all of that. I figured they were going to show some type of indies or something like that in there.
Yeah, indies, but I wasn't expecting to see, for instance, Alien Fireteam or whatever, you know, Ghost Recon Fire, like Extraction.
Extraction, yeah.
I was not expecting to see that. That's
because we've already known that.
Game.
Yeah,
that's coming out day one on all consoles. Like, I wasn't expecting to see something like that. You know, I was really expecting to see things that were going to be first party or console exclusives only, and we didn't really get that.
Yeah. So, with the first game,
E3.
yeah. Well, I mean, and they avoided that, you know, whatever, but. How'd you feel about the first game that was announced with Knights of the Old Republic, the remake?
Sick, man. Like, that's a that was a really great news to hear that, you know? Like, that's what I thought in my mind. They opened the show up with a freaking banger. And if this is what they're opening with, I can't imagine what the show's going to be like. And, like, that was sick.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would have wished it was a reboot or something like that. But it's been such a long time that I won't remember everything in the story and
Yeah.
whatnot. And for it to have the updated graphics and stuff and be a Star Wars game, it's gonna be dope. I'm gonna wait for it till it gets a little bit cheaper.
What did you think about no release window?
The fact that we didn't have a time frame on it
No
kind of
time
sucked,
frame at
but
all.
I
What do you think that means? 2023, the earliest?
I don't know. There was a lot of games that were on here that I think were spouting for 2023.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
But
It seemed like a 2023 show.
I don't know. I guess we just have to see. Maybe they just didn't want to let the cat out of the bag like too early. You know what I mean? And they have to push stuff back. You know what I mean? Might be working out some issues or some details or something.
Yeah,
It would have been cool to see where they were at. If they did some Dead Space type shit. To show us where they were at, but it was what it was.
It was
we already knew it was coming.
It was a little misleading, right? Like at the very end of the teaser, it says Star Wars: Knights of the Republic, and then it says a Legend remade for PS5.
Right.
I was like, snap! This is a PS5 exclusive, man. But it's not. It's literally a timed exclusive.
It's coming to the PC though. That's the timed, right?
No, it's timed. So for the console, it will come to PS. It will come to Xbox.
It will.
Yes.
Okay.
So
is it coming to
I thought this
Xbox
was
because it's coming to PC or what?
No, it's gonna be on the Xbox console.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think it's like a timed year exclusive. And but they said a Legend made for PS5. That sounds very much like it's exclusive just on PS5 only.
Yeah.
And then you learn it's coming out to PC, and then you learn it's a timed exclusive. I was like, come on, man, that's a little bit like shady. But
yeah.
All I know is Knights of the Republic is probably one of my top 5 all-time games.
Knights Republic is
one of the top 5 all-time.
Definitely one of those games.
One of the most memorable games I've ever played. It has some of the most shocking twists that I never saw coming. It's seared in my memory. Some of those, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying nothing,
right?
But it's seared in my memory. Some of those events that happened that I'll never forget.
Yeah, I mean it was definitely an awesome concept for it.
We played that in high school. That was like 20 years ago, man, and they're seared in my memory still. That's all I can say. It's just incredible.
So for the next game they showed was Project Eve. I didn't know about another Project Eve being made, so this was all new to me. I was looking at it and I was like, okay, I'm getting like this seemed like some Square Enix type music that was playing.
Totally.
You know what I mean? And then some other stuff going on. And then I was definitely looking at it at the attacking, and I was like, okay, it kind of reminds me of Bayonetta.
Same.
But it doesn't look like the girl, Bayonetta or whatever. And so I was just like, what is this? And, I was watching it and, Project Eve, and it looks dope. It looks like a good little hack and slash type of game. It's fast paced, action going on, I might get it.
It looks a tad run of the mill, doesn't it? Like a tad run of the mill.
I mean, the graphics looked good.
Yeah,
but as far as like the gameplay, it seemed basic.
A tad like mundane, like a little, basic.
Yeah,
just a little bit. Like I agree. Like the monsters look pretty interesting and cool, like pretty scary looking monsters, which always helps. Like I think the very last one was like almost like something from Dark Souls. And so I was really liking that. And yeah, my first thought, dude, was, is this like a Bayonetta spinoff? Because it's a chick and she's fighting and it's like very similar graphics.
Yeah.
And like the same type of, art style. And, but no, it's a whole new project. And so it looked good, but it wasn't nothing that was like, oh shit, this is insane.
This is it.
It was just, okay, that's decent. What's next?
Right.
Yeah.
And so what was next after that was, of course, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. And they didn't really show too much more of the game. But it showed, they had like a little bit of the commentary going on. And they showed a little bit of action shots and stuff like that. And it still looked good. You know what I mean? I'm definitely looking forward to checking it out because I love, the Borderlands world and whatnot. And so this is a solid addition to it. And I'm interested to see how they're going to do this RPG-like, aspect, this Dungeons and Dragons-like aspect on here. I'm interested to see that. So I've been waiting to see more of it.
Yeah, Dude, I was really hoping. I was actually disappointed when I saw guns.
When you
I'm
saw
not gonna
guns?
lie. Yeah, that felt like a little bit of like a lazy route. Like, it's like they just literally took their Borderlands engine and threw it in there, and so like you just because the engine's like built in with gunplay, they just kept the guns in there.
Mhm.
I was really hoping for more of a Skyrim, like might and magic, swordplay, weapons, and there is that, and spells. But I was hoping for like just that. I think adding in guns, like it sucks away a lot of the mystic, RPG aspect, in my opinion.
But it is Borderlands. It's like, how do you have a Borderlands without guns?
It's not Borderlands though. It's a Borderlands spin-off theme. I mean, I thought it was going to be different. I thought it was going to be something new. I didn't think it was going to be Borderlands again. This isn't Borderlands 4.
Yeah.
Like, this is literally Tiny Tina's Wonderland. And so I thought it might have been like a new IP, like with the same, because it's Tiny Tina, so in the theme of Borderlands, but not literally another Borderlands.
Mm-hmm.
When I watch this, it just seems like another Borderlands. And I love me some Borderlands. So, like, I'm going to enjoy this game, obviously, no doubt. But it's just not quite what I was, like, hoping for. I was really hoping for that kind of, like, RPG, Skyrim, might and magic. And there's some of that, and maybe I can just do that. Maybe I can have a build that just avoids
use all
guns,
magic
and
or
I use, like,
something?
axes and magic or something. I don't know. But I was hoping that just is what it would be, and they forced us to play in a medieval world.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of made an emphasis on guns. But, I mean, there is a guy using an axe. So
Right. And there was one instance where they showed a chest explode and then there was like a sword in there.
Right.
So there's some
there
equipment.
are melee weapons.
Yeah, there's equipment like we're used to in like a medieval game like Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't just go all in with it.
But it's definitely just an altered
Borderlands
version of Borderlands.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So part of me thinks is like all it is just a backdrop skin. This is just Borderlands with like a medieval skin to it, which I wanted it to be like
but it also
a little more risky.
It looks like it plays different though. It doesn't look like it plays the
Really
exact
looks like
same.
it plays the same to me.
I mean,
man.
if you're adding the dice aspect in
yeah,
there,
I don't know what that is. Is that a
what
mini
it does.
game or what is that?
I don't know. I don't know what it does.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know what that was.
But another game for 2022 in
Dude,
March 25th.
You're
man.
right. It was March 25th.
So-
That was smart. They put it in March because like February is way too full
Yeah.
and January is too full.
for sure.
So that was a good idea. But yeah, dude, March.
Yeah,
Damn, 2022 is crazy.
2022.
Because I'm
is gonna be
definitely
packed.
playing this. It's just not what I was hoping for.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I didn't think that there was going to be guns in there either. but,
Right.
it's almost like they feel like you can't have a Borderlands game without having guns in it, and a lot of guns.
I think it would have been fun without guns still. But yeah. I know, man. They probably are afraid if they don't include that the
people won't
fans aren't
perceive
going to
it the
want
same
to.
way.
Yeah, are going to perceive it the same way. Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, using the magic the way it was used and whatnot, it seemed like it was just like another ability that you'd be using, just like any other Borderlands game.
Yeah.
So, but the game after that was Forspoken, and we got to see a little bit more of like the introduction of
game,
how it starts and whatnot, and I thought that was cool. I was kind of looking at it, and I was like, damn. What is this? Because it looks semi-familiar as like something I might have seen, but I don't know. I can't put my fingers on it.
Just Final Fantasy style. I mean, it's Square Enix.
Yeah.
So
Square
it
Enix,
has
of
their
course.
engine.
Right.
That
But
beautiful
then,
engine.
getting teleported to that other world, and then I liked how it seemed like I don't know if the sound, the audio that was played was of her talking and whatnot and experiencing things,
Or
if that's
just an
how it
over-
would be
or
in the
just an
game,
over thing
or if
that
it was
they-
just
I
like an
know.
overlay or whatever.
How'd you feel about that?
I thought it might be cool because if she's experiencing the powers and she's like, whoa, I can do this and I can do that and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's like you're experiencing the powers with her. So it's almost like you're watching her do it, even though you're the one doing it.
I got mad Miles Morales vibes. Like, because like Miles kind of did that. You kind of comment as you play.
Right.
And then they kind of, I don't know, you had like the big New York City. And then like she's in another world and she kind of moves around like Spider-Man. I don't know.
She moves, I guess
the
similar
movement.
with like the grappling
when you
hooks
shoot
and stuff
yourself
like that.
forward and you kind of just move forward. I mean, there's no swinging, but
Yeah.
there's some movement that was kind of like Spider-Man-ish.
Right.
And so I was kind of getting that vibe. But what's funny is I didn't expect that vibe. Like when we first saw the original trailer.
Well, I mean, all the quick movements and stuff like that, the dashing and stuff.
Do you remember when like we first saw this like last year or whatever? I don't remember when they showed this game off.
Mm-hmm.
And all we saw was just like a couple glimpses of her like dashing in the wilderness. And we thought it looked really cool. And they showed like some powers.
Mm-hmm.
There was no voice. It was completely silent. It looked like a serious game. Like, there was going to be like a serious kind of deal and like a somber. I don't know. That's the kind of vibes I was getting from it. And I was expecting kind of like a serious
more
thing
dark
here.
or something?
More dark.
Dark theme?
There you go. I was looking for like a more of a darker, grimy kind of feel to this.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's more like Miles. Like, it's more like uplifting, jovial. You know, like you said, she's kind of talking like, I can move that with my mind. You know, it's like, it's a little cheesy because I was kind of hoping for a little grimmer, darker story.
Mm-hmm.
But the gameplay looks so damn sick. I mean,
the way she was using those different abilities, you know, the little machine gun shots that you were putting out there in the dark.
Dude, that frost ability she did, where like she frosted and then like frost. I was she looks powerful. I'm just like, dude, like, I gotta say, like, even though they went in a different like narrative direction than what I thought they were gonna go, I can't say enough good about how this game looks.
Yeah, I thought it looked really solid.
Snap, dude.
I was just like, okay, damn.
That looks. That's what's up, right?
Yeah. I was like, okay. I was already looking forward to it,
this
but
was
you know,
sick.
I was just like, all right.
I think they nailed it. I mean, the combat and magic, I think they nailed it, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
it looked like it would be fun to play, you know? So.
And I thought the girl was a likable character. Like, she seemed likable and down to earth. I just didn't want the jovial direction. I wanted, like, the grimmer, darker, you know, I'm fighting for my life.
And that might be only
direction.
certain parts
You know?
of it. You know what I mean? Like her getting acclimated to things.
Maybe.
And then it could get
just
darker.
seemed too jovial for like a
I don't
dark
know.
situation.
I don't know what she was doing on that rooftop or whatever. I don't know if she was trying to commit suicide or something. And this is like a different type of, you know, she was like hating her life, and then she went to go end it and ended up getting teleported here, and now she's got to fight for survival or what, you know? But
and we nailed that too, because I think the very first time we saw the trailer, like the very first one long ago, they showed like one glimpse where it like panned out, and we caught a glimpse of like normal human shoes, like normal, and we're like, I think she might have teleported. That's my guess. Right. Sure enough, that's exactly what they did
for sure.
I heard that
Chucks, so.
I heard this is a 2-year timed exclusive.
2 years, huh? Before it gets to the Xbox.
Yeah, 2 years. That's a long wait.
It is.
Usually they're 1 year, but I heard this is a 2-year time exclusive.
Yeah, I wonder if when they do release it to other systems or whatever, if they'll do like a deluxe edition. You know what I mean? That'll have like if there's any DLCs or anything
all the
like
DLCs
that on
and
there.
stuff for sure.
Or if they'll just do the
because it's such an old game.
And request, you know, that you pay, you know, for the updated stuff or whatever.
What's your guess, man? My guess is May 21st.
It says spring.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. It's maybe it's another March game or something.
May 24th, man.
Yeah.
Dude, whenever they say spring, they go to the very tail end of spring, dude. They go like to the very end.
Think it could be an April game?
I hope.
I mean, because
but they always push
I don't know if
these
there's
things
anything
as far
in
as
the
they
April
possibly
window.
can. Nothing right now.
Yeah.
You know.
So I don't know, but it definitely looks like it'll be a good one. It looks
definitely
like it'll be a banger.
looking forward to it for sure.
And then after that, of course, they showed Rainbow Extraction. I feel like they didn't really give much extra on that. We already saw it.
I don't know why they bothered showing this. Like,
yeah,
they wanted to really get to 40 minutes, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. They probably just
didn't even look that good. Didn't it kind of look lame? It looked okay.
It looked okay. Yeah, it looked alright.
Nothing exciting.
There was some parts of it that looked semi cool, but it wasn't nothing that was like, you know, outstanding or whatever.
Yeah, I wasn't too impressed with it.
Then the next game after that was, of course, what we already talked about, and that was Alan Wake the Remastered. So this isn't a reboot or anything like that. It's literally just a beautified version.
It's pretty beautified though. It looked pretty good.
It did look good,
didn't it? Like I was like pretty impressed with this remaster. Most remasters suck, but
yeah,
it looked decent.
This one is cool that they have it. I won't be getting it because I do remember how the story went and stuff like that. So this isn't one that I would pick up again, just me personally. But I think it is awesome that they did bring it back. I wish it had been an Alan Wake 2. But
it's a lazy route. It's a lazy route.
You know. I feel like they think like, oh, because we did the game once, there's certain storylines that we just can't do again. It's like he was a reporter. Like you could do another situation like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, another thing is too, like you and I, we're
Or a
gamers
book
to the
writer.
core. We have all the systems. We weren't like locked into one world. So
Right.
a lot of people, like for a lot of people, they lock into one world, and so like this will be new for them.
Mm-hmm.
But it was always super unique. The flashlight mechanics and like
Yeah.
it was a really uniquely well done game for its time. Like you can't deny that. And so this is good news for PlayStation owners, and it does look like a really solid remaster,
Mm-hmm.
which most of the time they don't look that good. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't heard from Prince of Persia ever since. I
They
don't think
probably
that
went back
game
to the drawing board.
That
at
game
that
probably
one.
got scrapped.
I hope they would have just threw it away and just did a reboot.
That's what I know. 'Cause
That
it
would
was,
be their best
It was
bet.
it was messed up, dude.
Yeah.
You know,
It didn't look good at all.
give it the God of War treatment, like go in a whole new direction.
Yeah.
But I was really surprised at how well it looked for being as old. This is an Xbox game.
Yeah.
This is an oldie, man.
Right. It's a 360 game.
It's 360.
It's a 360
Yeah,
game.
this is old, man.
Yeah. One
Two
I was actually
generations.
surprised that they showed us was the Grand Theft Auto 5. I was surprised that they would put this in the showcase. We already knew that they were going to do that.
Right, it's already
upgrade.
been announced.
So it's like, why would you show this to us?
It's
I mean, I
fluff,
guess
man.
it's
It's
like
fluff.
it's just like giving us Extraction, except like Extraction's a new game. This
True.
bitch has been
This is
out
even
for
worse.
almost 10 years. You know what I mean? Like it's like what 6-7 years or something like that. So it's been out for a while, and for you to put this in the showcase, like, hey, we're bringing Grand Theft Auto 5 to PS5. It's like, okay,
Yeah, it was definitely at this point that I was like, what is
this?
going on, dude? This is
Yeah.
scaring me.
I
They haven't
wasn't-
showed us anything.
I wasn't really scared at that point, but I was just like, what? Why are you showing Grand Theft Auto 5? Like, we
By
already
scared? By
you know?
scared, I mean it's like you're only leaving yourself what 10 minutes. What gonna show us one game?
Mm.
I wanted to see like more first party. Like, what's Sucker Punch? You know, what is Sucker Punch doing? Like, what are some of these studios that we're waiting on doing? You
Yeah.
know, what is Media Molecule doing? Like, what are some of these companies doing that we haven't heard a single word from in a long time?
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I was just like, I mean, it's like, darn it, man. They put some of these cool things behind paywalls. Like, so the PS5 version of the Grand Theft Auto 5 will finally have instant switching. It's like
Right,
the
because of
PS4
this
version should have
SSD?
that on the PS5 already.
Well, I think it was probably an SSD type of issue, right?
Yeah, but
Like
you
a
can play
fast
this on
loading?
PS5,
Right.
and it's not instant. I've played it.
Oh, really?
It's not instant
It doesn't
switching.
speed it up more?
No, it's quicker, but it's not instant. This is instant. It's
So
like,
maybe-
damn, if you could do it, what the heck?
Maybe they just optimized the coding for it or something like
Maybe.
that. Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like with the
But yeah, I
SSD,
get
it should be relatively instant. It's like,
So I'm
I
wondering
don't know.
if
I
there's
love
a
GTA,
free.
but
I'm wondering if there's a free upgrade for anybody who's already bought the GTA.
oh, I
5.
hope so, man.
Or
Because
if
I have it
they're-
on
If they're gonna
PS4.
make you buy it again.
I bought it on PS4, so it's
yeah,
like
we got it. We
I
still
have
got
it, and I play it every now and again because it's one of the most incredible games ever made,
Yeah,
and it's the definition of escapism. You feel like you're leaving this world and going into another,
Somebody
and it's
else
like
completely
pretty
different.
simple, man. Like if you really want to get out of this life for a minute, like hop into GTA. But
Yeah.
I'm just disappointed because it's like, damn, like when I play this on a PS5, I should have these kind of features already.
right.
You know, it's just I don't know, man. They're making me pay for it all over again. I hope it's like what you're saying. If I own it already,
Free upgrade.
give me a free upgrade.
Yeah.
Or even $10, I'd probably pay it because I love the game so much. But don't make me have to rebuy this. Please don't make me have to rebuy this. I won't do it.
That'd be nice.
I won't do it, man. Like I will not do
There
it.
will be people that buy it like that.
I know
but
they'll even
it'll be
spend it and
nuts.
buy it all over again,
Yeah.
man.
So the next game that came out was Ghostwire Tokyo, and when I saw it, I was like, nah, this seems like Ghostwire. You know, when I was
Same.
looking at it, I was like, oh, this is Ghostwire.
At first, I was
But
unsure,
it was
and then
cool
I-
to
yeah.
see how the story is initiated. You know what I mean? Because before we were just seeing the hand palm movements and stuff like that. But you know, you're seeing like the boy, and you know, and you're kind of seeing a little bit of the story and the things that are going on. And some of the ability, the moves and stuff that they were showing were pretty
magic?
wicked. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Those little palm strikes and stuff, and doing all that martial arts and everything, and the kicks and all that stuff. It all looked cool. You know, it just looked like it reminded me of what's that wall runner game?
Oh yeah, Mirror's Edge.
Mirror's Edge. Yeah, it reminded me of like an amped up Mirror's Edge, you know, with some magic, you know, or whatever in there, because of the way it's like first person. and
This is
you're
supposed to
seeing
be a
the kicks
VR
and
game,
stuff.
isn't it?
I don't think so. I think it might come out on VR, but right now it's just a PS5 game and PC apparently for spring once again.
It definitely looked cool, but were you afraid at all? It just didn't seem scary at all.
No, I
It's
definitely
supposed to be a
didn't.
horror game.
It didn't seem scary, but maybe it's because they were trying to showcase the abilities more in this trailer.
Maybe.
Than
But the
giving you an
combat looked
ominous
all
feel.
lively and bright. Like it just seemed like action. It seemed like an
it looked
action
beautiful.
game. Yeah,
It
it's
looked
like an
those
action
beautiful
oriented
moves and
game.
stuff. Yeah,
Not like a horror game.
it might be.
Right?
But on those initial shows, the initial trailers, it seemed like it could be ominous, right? Because you had the invisible, schoolgirl outfits and stuff like that out there that were, like that you had to attack, dead corpses or something like that, or ghosts. But yeah, this looks like something different.
It just seemed a little bit too lively, but that could just be trailer choice, like clip choice from the game that they gave us.
They try to do more action sequences and all that, so
right.
Maybe that's why I felt lively like that.
But I was like, this doesn't seem scary at all. But it looked cool. Like the powers look really dope.
Yeah,
and it's like, what was the one? Like, wasn't that battle royale with this magic kind of like that?
Oh, like Spellbreak?
Yeah, you just see like your hands and
right.
you're shooting things.
Yeah,
like that's kind of like what this feels like.
Right.
There seems to be like a little trend of that going on right now, where like you just see your hands and you're just like throwing spells out. Even that one game from the Xbox showcase that I had you watch. That was like Hell or something like that. And it was like pixel art or whatever, and he was like with just his hands and he was like shooting things around. It looked like Doom.
Yes.
Doom with spells. Remember that?
Yeah.
This is. Like
even Tina's Wonderland.
Even Tina's Wonderland. It's like there's like this thing
spells.
going on where like, you just see your hands in front of you and you're just like slinging stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a little trend kind of going on right now with that style.
Yeah.
But I mean, Bethesda's, they're great, right? Like this should be really good.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that this Ghostwire Tokyo will be pretty decent too. I think it's an indie game, so
no,
maybe
Bethesda.
it's not. Oh, this is Bethesda.
So
okay.
Bethesda Studio. It's not indie at all.
Yeah.
But there's an indie feel to it. I agree.
Tango Gameworks.
Tango game. Yeah. There's
so
definitely
another
an indie
company
feel
owned
to
by
it.
Bethesda.
I agree.
Yeah. So the next game that we saw was Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy. We've already seen this before. They've given a lot of info on this already.
Right.
I'm not sure why they decided to put it in here. Maybe they were just scrounging for a couple of extra minutes.
More fluff, man.
To put in there. It was only like 2 minutes or something. You know what I mean? So just add a little extra. But I already wanted it, so this was just extra footage for me to see. But I already can't wait for this game.
It's really weird when they've already given us like a 20-minute play session of this game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like
they gave us an extensive look at it.
Of the game playing like for 10, 20 minutes straight.
Yeah.
What is a trailer going to do? Like, you've shown us so much of the game already.
It was almost like, hey, just in case you forgot, here it goes.
Yeah, like let's say they had given us a trailer at E3 and that's all they gave us. Then another trailer's fine. But when you gave us like, hey, this is the game, and it's like, here's 20 minutes of me playing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, man. I'm done. I don't need to see that game like any longer. I've seen so much of it already.
Right.
Same thing with like, I think we're gonna get here pretty soon too, right? With the next one. After this next one, but like same thing with like Deathloop, right? It's like, what in the world? Hello, we've seen these games like done to death already. Why are we seeing it even more?
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't. When they do things like this, it makes me less hype. I'm sorry. It drains a little bit of my hype, because I'm like, dude, I've seen enough of this already, and you make me feel like you're just trying to like shove it down my throat now. And it's like,
yeah, I mean, I did wonder like, why are you showing this to me again? I want to see like, I would rather see games I've never heard of before, showcased in these showcases, but either way, I wanted the game already, and so
when
it
you
didn't
get
add
sick
anything extra or take anything away.
Like when you get sick of something when you have too much of it. Like they see too much of a good thing is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like what happens when this for me.
Okay.
Like when you're showing me too much of it, it kind of gets a little bit like a bad taste in my mouth. Like, okay, I had too much of that ice cream. I want to try something new.
I got you. Yeah. And the next game that they showed was Blood Hunt. Now this one, we had recently saw something about this, just like a really quick glimpse of it.
Right.
Not too long ago, I feel. Like really recently. I think they might have showed it in that last little Gamescom thing or something like that. They showed us like a real quick look. And so, they showed it to us again. This one was another quick look. I kind of already guessed what it was when I saw the vampire-ish aspect on it. I was like, okay, this is Blood Hunt. You know what I mean? Because there wasn't like another vampire type of game that was like announced recently. So I figured this was what it was. And this is kind of like a PvP VE type of thing, right?
Dude, that's what I know. I wasn't sure, bro. Like as I was watching this trailer, I was like, damn, that looks pretty cool. And then I was like, wait a minute. They were showing factions, and so I was like, wait a minute, is this a multiplayer game? But then like they would show one of the vampires fight.
Yeah.
And it was like they killed things like so fast. They were like one-shotting things that I was like, nah, there's no way that this is PvP. They're just one-shotting me. There's no PvP going on. Like he literally just points his gun at me and I die. How can that be PvE? This has to be PvE. You know, because in a PvE game, you're just like grossly stronger than everything else around you.
Yeah.
And the only way you lose is when you get just like mobbed on.
Right.
By a bunch of the mobs in the game.
Yes.
Because you're so grossly stronger than everything.
Yeah.
It was feeling like that because like when they would kill something, she was like running. A dude would be shooting at her. She just goes, boom, dead. And she like keeps running. It's like that felt PvE-ish to me.
Yeah, yeah.
But then like they were showing factions and then I was like, but where's the PvE at? And then the PvP at.
Right.
And then come to find out it is a battle royale.
And it seems like
was
it's a large
disappointed.
map. It seems
Yeah,
like
it
it's a very
does.
large map. But it seems like it's kind of slightly different. You know, I mean, I think they've been trying to do a couple of those games like that are like battle royales, but you got to play against the environment too. I think I've been seeing a couple of those recently.
Yeah, more like a MOBA.
Yeah.
Where you know in MOBAs you gotta kill the towers and you're
Right.
PvPing,
And
but
you
you
gotta
have to
get
go
the
do the
enemies
fields and get
around.
the enemies in the field to like get powered up.
Right.
Like something along those lines.
Yeah. So
But the PvE aspects looked really neat. Like that first zombie that was kind of like a little ghoulish and he was like sneaking and he was like invisible. And he had like a different, visual effect.
right.
That was really, really solid looking. Like when you were stalking around.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why couldn't this be a single player experience? It looks really fun for like a single player experience. Why do I have to be looking over my shoulder, man? For that freaking no scope 360 master is gonna come kill me anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know. And at what point in time, man, have we oversaturated this battle royale market? Everything is like battle royale.
I think
there room
people
for
are
more?
going to just
Good
keep trying
grief.
different ways to approach the battle royale scene so that they can become the new hotness. So
I mean, we
don't
just
think
got
it's gonna
Hunter's
die out
Arena.
any
No one's
soon.
playing that. I mean, I just don't know, dude. Like,
Yeah.
they're never-ending battle royales, and it's
Yeah.
just a shame because I see a lot of potential here. I see a lot of really good potential here.
Yeah. But I mean, it might
um,
still be it might be a decent aspect, you know what I mean? It might not be what we think we saw, but we have to get more in-depth interviews from the developers and stuff like that to kind of get like,
Totally
a better
feels
understanding.
PvE. I'm watching some of this again,
Right.
like the one scene where the guy's running on the roofs, and there's some guy shooting at him, and
Right.
every shot's a miss.
Yeah.
And then like he gets up there and just one shots the guy. It's like there's no way that was a human.
Right.
That had to have been
They would've
a
saw him come and
PvE
switch
type
weapons,
thing.
yeah.
It would have been a battle, right? Like there's no way that was a human.
Yeah.
So it's like they make it seem like you're playing a PvE game. I don't know, because I think they know that their PvE combat's really good,
Right.
and maybe their PvP isn't so good because we didn't really even see PvP there.
Or at least not that we know of anyways.
That we know of.
Yeah. So the next game that they showed was another kind of but it was Deathloop. And they showed us another quick video of that, but it's kind of like, I mean, maybe it's just like the last show because it's coming out next week. So it's just like, hey, remember this is coming out. Like, hey,
hilarious, bro.
like last month we showed you a shitload of content, but like, hey, remember this bitch is coming out like next week, bro.
You remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you just showed me like an hour of it.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
I had
it was
forgotten.
kind of like, okay, it kind of gave a little bit more info with telling you there was like 5 or 6 assassins, and then the one that's chasing you was the heavy one on the list. But yeah, I
They
mean,
gave us a
it
little
gave you
bit
a little
more
bit more of the story.
information, right? Like he wakes
Yeah.
up amnesia every time, it seems like, and you leave
Right,
notes. But the problem is we
the
remember.
island that he's on is a prison,
Right.
and they all are supposed to relive that same day
Mhm.
over and over again, and it's supposed to be like one party or whatever, but they're trapped. You know what I mean? So I thought that was, at least, interesting tidbit of information. At least they gave me
Yeah.
something new, but
I was
it's like
hyped
I
already. I don't need
really
any
don't
more.
need it. Like, you could have
No.
saved that info.
Heck
I would have
yeah.
much rather experienced that, learning that info when I played the game. You know what I mean? Like, you could have saved all of that shit. Like, you didn't need to put that in here.
I know, it's like,
You could have saved this a little 2 minutes.
what
or
is this
something.
for, man? It's like, if you didn't sell me
on the big ass
on the state of
developer,
play,
tell me how it's played.
big ass
shit.
developer state
Yeah.
of play, then it's not like I didn't care with this game, and all of a sudden this trailer convinced
This
me.
sold me, dude.
That did it.
Yeah,
Dude,
once I found out what the story was,
now
shit
I'm
sold
in.
me.
Now I'm in. This
Yeah.
like, I just think it did nothing but like almost look stupid. Kind of hurt their stock. That's my opinion, man.
It was definitely fluff. It was probably
Yeah,
some shit they cut
it
off
feels
of
like
one
fluff.
of their other trailers, and they just like, we'll do another one. Let's throw shit, Bob. I forgot we had another trailer. Just throw this in the,
Damn,
in the
Bob,
showcase.
we're 4 minutes shy.
Man,
I know. Deathloop.
Deathloop. Throw Deathloop in there.
You know, some might have forgot.
Throw extraction in there. Just throw it in there.
Extraction in there. We already showed 40 minutes of Avengers. Throw one of them in there too.
Yeah.
You know,
Right. So.
not Avengers, but Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like,
Yeah,
come
Guardians
on,
of the
man.
Galaxy. Yeah.
Give me a break.
So Kid Amnesia or Kid Amnesia.
Amnesia. Yeah, Kid Amnesia or something
Whatever.
like that.
Yeah, that one seemed like that one was semi interesting. It was an epic game. So they
Creepy
still
looking.
doing their thing.
Totally creepy. I was expecting something really interesting. It was just more like a tease, though.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It was a super quick little trailer. And it didn't really give us a whole lot of stuff. But I guess this was based upon music.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, an album.
yeah.
So I guess we'll see
hey.
what this is all about. I have no idea. Radiohead. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't. It literally was just like a straight up image. It didn't really didn't give you shit.
It's just a
Really?
straight teaser, man.
Yeah. so
So.
when we get these, I feel like I'm watching an Xbox showcase, because that's some shit Xbox would do. Give us a
Exactly.
fucking teaser.
This
that
felt
doesn't
like an
have shit
Xbox
in it.
showcase from like start to finish. Not
Shit
finish.
say it's coming in November though.
Yeah.
I don't know what year.
If you don't have gameplay
No, it
yet,
said
man,
November of
it's coming out
2021.
two
But why ain't
months
you
from
showing
now.
shit? This is the first time I fucking heard of this game. But you ain't show me shit?
It comes out in 2 months, man.
Yeah, like what's going on here? You didn't show me a damn thing about this game,
Until
and it
2
comes
months
out in
before
2 months.
launch.
Hey, good luck to you, buddy.
Somehow it made it on the showcase too.
Dude, they were scrambling for time, man. They was like, hey, man, I know we want to show you God of War, but we need to fill it in a little
Dude,
bit.
totally.
We already announced that this was 40 minutes, and we're just a fucking few minutes shy. Let's just throw some shit in there. Kid Amnesia? All right, let's
That's what
put it
this
in
felt like, man. In a lot of ways, that's what this felt like.
there. Hey, Tachia. What the fuck was that? I don't
Do you
even-
remember this?
I don't remember.
She
it.
possesses the animals.
Yeah,
She
that's
flies
it.
around and then she like flings herself into an animal.
Extra indie game, right?
Very indie-ish. Yes.
I thought that I was kind of like, what the hell is it? You know what I mean? It's not like completely unique, but it's definitely going for like an artistic style, right? The way that they did their characters and stuff like that. I was a little scared when it introed, when she was playing the little ukulele or
I was like,
whatever.
this better not
And
be
I
a
was like,
music
"Aw,
game,
dude,
man.
damn,
This
you
is gonna
gotta
be
play
stupid."
that shit." But they stole that straight from fucking
Last of Us. It's
too.
the same exact thing, right? I swear it's like the exact same.
The chords that you
Yeah, I
play.
swear it's like the exact same mechanics.
Right, but I mean, it seemed like the world might be interesting to go through. You know what I mean? And the fact that you get to transform into all of these little animals to explore the world could be interesting. It just seems like it's a little exploring type of game. To me, this feels like a game that should be given to PlayStation Plus subscribers
I agree.
for a free
It depends.
PlayStation 5 game.
For me, it depends.
But I don't know.
If they're holding back something, then maybe not. But if it's strictly an explorer game, there's no way I want to play this. Like, okay, the world looks beautiful. It is a cool mechanic, possessing animals.
Yeah.
But I need a reason to explore this world. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not one to just want to run around an island and look. I need like a reason. What am
I
I
didn't see any
doing?
combat.
Yeah, what am I doing? What is the point? Like, why do I want to explore every aspect? Why do I want to go underwater? Just to see it? Like, I need some kind of reason.
Oh, maybe
And
there was
they
combat
didn't
with the little
give
slingshot. But
that wasn't much. Wasn't really combat, man. That's more
Yeah.
like a distraction.
yeah.
I just, it's a shame because there's a lot of things about this that are very beautiful. Like the art does look great. It's very pretty looking. I like that idea. It seems very well made. That mechanic of possessing.
Mm-hmm.
It's very seamless. It's very smooth. But I need something to do. Something that pulls me in, man. Something that sucks me into the game. That makes you want to go back to that world, explore every square inch of it.
Yeah, the artwork is cool, but yeah, it definitely needs like a reason.
There's no reason.
A good enough reason to why you're exploring or doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that I can see like more of it eventually to get like a better understanding of it, to see if it's something even worth my attention.
Right.
But it didn't pull me in like, Kenna did. You know what I mean? Like Kenna looked like something different. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I know
like,
what
oh,
I'm doing.
these
The
things is-
combat, I'm collecting, I'm getting stronger. You see what you're doing. You see the point here. You're battling evil. Like, you see the point.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point here.
Yeah.
They gave me no point.
Right. Another one that was kind of like Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection, right? So this is a combination, right, of Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy, and they're being remastered for the PS5
Oh, and
and
PC.
the PC.
So that rumor was true.
So it's kind of like I felt like this should have had all
All
the
of them. 1,
Uncharteds.
2, 3, 4, right? Yeah.
It should be the entire shebang.
Right.
But it's only those two. And I did see Lost Legacy clips or whatever, and I was like, at the beginning or whatever, and I was like, oh, this is that Lost Legacy one, that little small DLC that was like almost its own thing.
Yeah.
But for you to give Uncharted 4, like, I feel like you should have just made this the whole thing. Like, you should have just
I
gave us
agree.
the whole
100%,
collection,
man.
just
Then
upgraded.
maybe I'd buy it.
But I feel like they just gave us an Uncharted collection. Maybe that's why, because they gave us 1, 2, and 3
On the PS5?
just recently on the PS4.
Right.
They just recently did like a remastered, 1, 2, and 3 updated version. And so they got 4. So they're like, okay, we'll do 4. And we didn't do Lost Legacy, so we'll add that. But it's like, I feel like they should have went on and just gave you the 1, 2, and 3 as well, to make this like, you get the whole collection, all PS5 upgraded, all PS5
Yeah, it
graphics,
shouldn't be a problem.
all that stuff.
I mean, I love me some Uncharted 4. I love that game.
Yeah.
It's incredible. But, I mean, come on, dude. Like,
I would have much
Extra
rather.
old.
I would have much rather them had given us another spin-off or something like that of Uncharted than to give us just this collection.
was Uncharted on the PS collection? The 20.
Yes. Uncharted 4 Thieves End was on the PS collection. Hey.
Bro, like, everyone in the world's played this. You gave it to people for free.
Yeah.
I'm like, what in the world, man? Come on. Naughty Dog, dude, give us a game. What are you doing?
Yeah, so, that was kind of just like a why. But, again, it's there if people want it. If people
man.
didn't get it. If you got a PS5 and you didn't pick up a Thieves End, like, fuck is you doing? Like,
If you
it's
got a
still there. It's
PS4
still
and you
available
don't have a friend who can log on to their account through your PS5
to give it to you,
Are
yeah.
you kidding me? Like, everyone in the world's played
But
this
I
already.
think is Thieves End is that a PS5 version for us on that collection? I think it's been upgraded to PS5 version.
I think so. I mean, at the very least, it's 60 FPS.
So then,
Almost positive.
So then, at that sense, you're really only giving us Lost Legacy as an upgrade.
For your PS5.
If everybody and their mom who's got a PS5 has already got this game,
yeah.
then you're only doing that for. It's more so for the PC. That's what it is. It's more so for the PC to give you this.
That's what it
Thieves
is.
End and Lost Legacy. And it's just saying, hey, we're putting
That's
it on
exactly
PS5
what
too.
it is,
That's
dude.
what it's for. It's for the PC.
It's for the PC crowd.
Yeah.
What bullshit,
So
man.
I don't even know why they would have even attempted to just show this or whatever with the PS5
It's
thing.
strictly for
They should
PC.
just have
This
it
is
for the
about
PC.
trying to get PC on board, for sure, man.
For sure. But moving on, the next game, I was surprised at this one. I didn't know this one was coming. I didn't know this was down the pipeline. I'm really surprised that Marvel has so many fucking games in the making. Like, they are literally throwing
That's what I was saying
their
last
rights
time.
out. You were saying that they
That's
were
what I
going to
was
flood the
saying
market
last time, dude.
Yeah.
Totally.
Hey, they got Marvel's what is it? The Suns,
Yes.
the something Suns. I forgot what it's called.
Forgotten
But they
Sons or
got
something.
that
Yeah.
one. They have the other Marvel's XCOM. Well, no, that was the Marvel's
the same
XCOM
one.
game. There's another
They
Marvel's
had the
game.
mobile one they just released.
The mobile one, the Revolution or something like
Guardians of the
that.
Galaxy. They got
Guardians.
this. They had
They've got
Spider-Man already. I mean, it's like
Marvel's
never-ending.
Wolverine, man. Like, when I watched it, I was like, what is this? And I was trying to get what it was, and I couldn't tell. And then it's like, oh, you did the freaking claws. And I'm like, oh, damn, they done made a Marvel game too, a Wolverine game. And it's made by Insomniac,
Yeah.
which they did an outstanding job with Spider-Man. So for them to take on Wolverine, I feel like it's going to be done great. You know, but it's like...
I love Wolverine. When I was growing up, he was my favorite hero.
Okay.
Wolverine was always my favorite.
Uh-huh. Because he was so bloody and massacrist?
He was just like, I liked that he would, in my mind, he was like indestructible because like he healed perfectly everything back. He couldn't kill him.
Dude takes a bullet in his head and will eventually kick the bullet out. Fuck.
Dude, I just like that kind of power. And I like that, he had, I also thought it was really cool that he was like also indestructible because the metal was like adamantium or whatever. So like you couldn't break him either.
Right.
I just thought he was a really cool hero. I always liked playing him on the original. You remember the
what happens
arcade
if you
game?
dismember him?
I always chose Wolverine because I just liked the powers,
Right.
What
if you pull off some legs?
He's not just you cannot dismember him.
Nah, shit can cut through that adamantium steel.
You can't break adamantium.
No, something cut through his steel at some point. I thought I could have sworn that at one point something had cut through his steel and his claws. It had cut his claws.
Oh.
Wasn't there something in the movie that had cut through his
Maybe
shit?
it was like adamantium, something. Yeah, you're right. There was something like that. He would grow back. In my mind, he would grow back. The metal wouldn't. So I think the bones would grow back out of the metal. But anyways, I have two feelings about this game. The first feeling is dope. Wolverine's sick. I'm agreeing with you. I didn't expect this at all. I didn't see this coming from out of left field. Second thing is totally. I feel like it's gonna be like whenever Sony gets a chance to get a Marvel license,
it's just gonna.
Let's just throw it to Insomniac. I mean, we got Marvel, Insomniac. You good? Iron Man comes, Insomniac, you good? Like, they're just going to throw every Marvel thing Insomniac's way, it feels like.
I think Insomniac didn't do the Iron Man VR, but maybe if they had, it would have been a little bit better.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the next time around.
Yeah.
You know, because I think that was before Spider-Man came out.
Yeah.
The Iron Man VR.
Yeah.
But it's like, because they did so damn good with Spider-Man and Miles Morales, they're just like, Insomniac is just getting all the Marvel contracts.
Dude, Insomniac might be the go-to for Marvel games, man.
But I thought that this game would have been in better hands had it been in, like, Naughty Dog's hands. Because when I think of Wolverine, I think of like gritty, like the movie that just came out, Logan.
Yeah.
I think of like gritty, dark. The dude is like depressed because he's lived so long and like broken.
Yeah.
Not like giddy, upbeat like Spider-Man, and not. I don't want a cartoony. Like I don't want a cartoony Wolverine. Like I want the nitty gritty. I want what's the dude I want Joel. Like, this feels like Joel, but with claws, right? Like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
And so, like, I thought it would have been really cool had, like, a little bit more of a gritty studio got this.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like, you're right. They did a fantastic job with Spider-Man, and, like, you can't deny that.
Yeah.
And so I totally get why they threw this at Insomniac. I just wonder if Insomniac has the chops and the guts, to go in that dark, gritty direction. And when you watch a trailer, it seems like it is a little more gritty.
Could be.
He has the bloody knuckles.
Yeah.
So this better be bloody. We're hoping for, like, a rated M game, right? We're not hoping for teen here. Hoping for a rated M game, like,
I'm
they
still
go there.
waiting for, like, a real proper Deadpool game. Like, I feel like the Deadpool games have been, like, pretty childish or whatever,
Totally.
Trying to go, like, the super comedic route. But I want it to be, like, not silly. I want it to be, like, I think Insomniac should take Deadpool and do something with that.
What do you think
that
this?
would be cool.
Yeah, it's something. I think they would make a great Deadpool.
Yeah,
that's true. Wolverine, I'm a little unsure because when you think about Wolverine,
I have faith in Insomniac. After Spider-Man 2 and Miles Morales, I have faith that they.
Well, let me ask you this though.
Marvel.
Let me throw a little wrench there. Then, how do you envision this? Insomniac is like big on the worlds, the open worlds. Are we running around New York as Wolverine? Like, how does this work? We can't sling through the city. Is this going to be an open world game, or is this going to be on rails?
I think this will be open world. It's a superhero game.
Really?
It's got to be open world. But I feel like
Cars?
his traversal.
He's not a traversal, dude. He's not
he
a
rides
traversal.
A motorcycle. He rides a motorcycle.
So we're going to go Days Gone then?
Could be a lot
Days
of
Gone
motorcycle
route?
riding.
Yeah.
For him. You know, what I mean, he
Okay.
can climb buildings with his claws. So
Yeah,
I
but
see a
not
lot of building
efficiently,
climbing.
you know?
I think he can jump fairly far.
I never seen that as like one of his things.
He
His
ain't leaping tall buildings and shit.
traversal has never
the
been
Hulk
one of
or
his
something.
features, man.
Yeah, probably not like a really good one. I think he can climb, or he can.
I mean,
get
you
certain
can invent
locations,
it. You
but-
can invent it. You're right, but I'm just saying like that's not his MO.
And then traveling, I don't know how fast he runs, like on all fours. Actually, he was covering good ground on all fours in Logan. He was dusting through that forest.
Yeah, but that's not how we're gonna run the world.
Hey, on
And
all
dust
fours,
around?
bro. You just start running, and then all of a sudden you see him get low and start galloping, just taking mad leaps, man. Like just peeling ground from under him as he's
Peeling
freaking running, man. I can see it, man.
I don't know, man.
I don't know where they're gonna go.
I
though.
think I'd prefer the like what I said before, the Naughty Dog on rails grim story. I think that'd be
maybe
sick.
maybe it's more mission orientated. You know?
I want the grim start to finish journey, man.
Yeah.
I think it'd be so cool. I don't know.
I'm not gonna put anything past
We'll see.
Insomniac.
Yeah, I
but
agree. I agree.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the direction that they're gonna take with Wolverine.
I agree.
And I don't think that they're gonna come ass with it, dude.
It ain't
I
gonna
think
be
they're
bad.
gonna show an
No matter what they do, it's not gonna be bad.
Yeah,
It may not live up to one expectation or another, but it's not gonna. It's,
gonna
not
be
gonna
solid.
It's gonna be
It's gonna be
good,
solid.
no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah. So the next game that they showed, and I don't think they didn't give a date for Marvel Wolverine, and that clip was short as fuck. I don't know when they're gonna even.
2024
I think that's
what?
probably like at least a 2023, at least. But I think I could see it
I think
24,
2024, bro.
especially since they're working on Marvel's Spider-Man. So
Yeah, that's 2023. So there's no way they're bringing
Yeah.
out two games in the same year.
right.
So this
So
is
it might be
definitely-
actually 5. It might be 5. man.
5, bro. That's so far.
I mean, shit.
Come on, man.
But the next game that they showed was Gran Turismo 7. Of course, a lush, beautiful, car game. If you are into the Gran Turismo scenes, then you're gonna get exactly what you've been getting. Gran Turismo, certain games is kind of like 2K or Madden or whatever. You're getting the same shit, just a different year, upgraded graphics or whatever. This one comes out in March of 2022. So if you love racing games, be on the lookout for that. Insomniac again, showcasing Spider-Man 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now we had talked about this rumor before with Najee Jeter, showing a picture of him in a mocap suit, and you were saying that this was going to be a combination of those two. And I did not want it to be a combination of those two. I felt like Miles Morales deserved to just be on a branch of his own and essentially like move away, like something happens in the game on the next Miles Morales and then he moves like on his own, Peter dies or something like that, alternate universe, something happens that he's on his own to be the Spider-Man that he can be. But this one showcases them tangoing against the same villains and stuff like that, in a fight together. And it's kind of just like, damn. I was gonna ask you, when I was listening to the narrator, it sounded as if the narrator had like a German accent, as if he was Mobius, the vampire. But when we got to the end, we see Venom in the shadows. So do you think that was all Venom? Do you think that they'll give us Mobius in this game?
I think that's what it was.
And Venom?
I think it was Mobius.
Could we see
Venom
a
was
black
answering
suit
him.
Spider-Man, with like a Venom Spider-Man be able to do this game? I mean, that would be pretty dope. But again, the Venom storyline didn't have anything to do with Miles Morales. So I don't know how they're incorporating Miles Morales, which is why I just wish they had kept Miles separate from Peter. You know, at this point, like I understand they're in the same world or whatever, but give us a sequence of things that have happened that just involve Peter. Like I liked the original Spider-Man for PS4.
Me too.
So
Great
I would have totally loved if they had just done Spider-Man for PS4 too, and it's or PS5. You know what I mean? A second one, and just gave us just nothing but Peter Parker. You know what I mean?
Like, remember when we were talking about this? I didn't necessarily disagree with you. Like, I don't disagree with your feeling on that.
You just saw why not?
I was just like, I can't imagine why they wouldn't capitalize. I didn't know. I had no insider information. I promise you. This was just my read, right? And I just thought, like, when we saw him in that mocap, I couldn't imagine them...
That they would do another Spider-Man Miles Morales?
Right after and just skip over, like, Peter.
Yeah.
So all those things was making me think that this is going to be some kind of duo, this next one.
Right.
And sure enough, it was. And the whole thing comes into my mind, like, okay, so what does this mean? Like, does this mean co-op? No. They came out and said no co-op. Because that would have been dope.
That
right?
would
What
have
if you
been
could have
fire.
played like Miles, I played Peter, or we switch it up and play through the game together as opposite characters and like enjoy it all?
Right.
Like, they shot that dream down. So that's not what it is. So my next thing goes to, is it going to be like we do everything together? So, like, we're going around the world together, and we're just, like, switching between the two as we fight. Like, I'm going to fight as Miles this time, because that dude has electrical shield, so I need to make sure that I use Miles' power to knock that off. And we're going to be kind of, like, utilizing both the abilities back and forth as we need them.
Yeah.
Or is it going to be like the GTA route, like I mentioned before, where, like, both are doing their own thing in the city, and you're doing like the world switch. You know how you would switch and you go up to the the sky.
So you turn to Miles, and he's in the middle of doing something, and you're continuing up with his story.
Missions.
Yeah.
And then once you kind of exhaust his missions, you press up again, like on
switch
Grand
to
Theft Auto.
Peter.
You see Peter has 4 missions to do. You go to him.
Yeah. And then sometimes they join up together.
And then maybe sometimes they join up. That could be the route they go, which I would probably prefer that route. Because then I feel like I'm playing one and then the other rather than at the same time.
But at the same time, you have to manage the skills of 2 different characters now.
True.
It's not just a continual upgrade of one character. You've got to manage 2. Right. So it's just like it's a lot to deal with, and I mean, I don't think you can do like because he's got electric, he's got some other power or something because he doesn't have electricity. Right. So they got 2 different. Miles Morales has 2 different skill sets.
Yeah, Peter emphasizes web slinging. Miles emphasizes electricity.
Yeah.
So it's like, So that's why I'm saying, like, maybe it's kind of like where they're together at all times. And you know what I mean? In those games where, like, an enemy comes up that, he needs to be electrocuted. He won't be... Webbing does nothing to him. So you have to switch to Miles, right, to use electricity.
Yeah.
And then another enemy comes up where they're immune to electricity. So you're better off switching to Peter. Something like that.
But then it seems like one of those, like that Marvel's Avengers game where you could switch between all of the characters and stuff like that to do shit. And it's kind of like, I don't like those games where you got to like switch between your characters, Right. I like having one character to focus on.
Right. I agree, man.
Not manipulating the gameplay through like 4 different characters. It's just kind of annoying.
I do agree with that, which is why you like the Guardian of the Galaxy route where you just stick as Star-Lord. Yeah. You're not, even though they're all together, you're playing just the one.
Yeah. They've got their AI and stuff, and you can hey
direct
do this or something like that, but they're gonna do their own thing. Yeah. They're here to help me. Right. So I don't know what direction Insomniac is going. I'm not too worried. I still feel like Insomniac will do a great job with this, as they did with the other. I don't think that they're going to incorporate something like this and fuck it up.
All I gotta say is all hell Insomniac Studios, man. Because
with Marvel games, at least.
Half the first-person studio games that they revealed today were Insomniac games. Yeah. And Insomniac's already given us 2 games already this cycle. Yeah. Ratchet and Clank and Miles Morales. What are the other studios doing? What would Sony do without Insomniac? They need to just be thanking them. Thank you, Insomniac. You gave us some games to show today. Yeah. What would we have done without you? For sure. That's crazy, bro. Good for them. Those guys work hard, man.
Yeah, they've been putting in a lot of work.
They deserve all the praise.
For sure.
They're like the Brandon Sanderson of the video game universe, you know?
Creating so many books.
Yeah, you know how you have like you have George R. R. Martin and like Patrick Rothfuss. These guys are like just masterpieces. They're like the Rockstar and the Naughty Dog, but you don't get very much.
Yeah.
And then you have Brandon Sanderson, who may not quite be as good as those guys, but he almost is.
Produces
but
good shit,
he's
but
chunking
he's
out books every year for you.
Right.
That's what Insomniac is, man. And I appreciate that almost more than like the great quality stuff. I'm not kidding. I appreciate that so much because I know no matter what, it may not be like The Last of Us Part 2, but it's going to be damn good.
Mm-hmm.
And I get to play that now. And I know I'm going to get something from you next year, too, and the year after.
Yeah.
Where I may not get nothing from Naughty Dog.
I mean, it's going to be a little break before we get something from them, but the fact that we're getting that Spider-Man is supposed to be coming out for 2023, and then, you know, maybe a year or two after we get Wolverine.
That's what I'm thinking.
And I can't see them, like, as fairly quick as we got Spider-Man 2 and then we got Miles Morales. I think we could see another Spider-Man game.
Dude,
or
I
something
think
like
Insomniac is trying hard to be a yearly releaser. Because we got Spider-Man 1 in 2019. We got Miles Morales in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
We got Ratchet in 2021. I think they're taking 2022 off because there's lots of releases in 2022. That's the year
unless
to
they
take
got
off.
something in the tuck that they're dropping.
Unless they have like a little short one again.
Maybe a remake.
Like a little short,
like
maybe maybe they do like a little Rivet DLC or something.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if they do something like that. And then 2023 they launch Spider-Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2024 you get Wolverine. They're just giving you something, man.
Yeah.
Like every day. They're such a wonderful studio. I can't say enough good about those guys, man.
For sure.
They are
man.
world class.
And the very last game of the showcase, we were waiting on like one of their big coup de grace first person games. And I was at this point, I was like, okay, it's getting close to the time. I hope they don't show us Forbidden West at this point. But
bro, I thought maybe that they're not going to show us God of War again.
The gods answered our prayers, and they gave us God of War Ragnarok, and more than just a little symbol on the screen,
quite a bit
with the name. They gave us a story. I don't know about you, but I felt like it was a lot of shit that resembled the first one. I kind of almost was looking at it like, damn, is this the second? Or am I playing the first with this? You know what I mean? Like, there was some things that Atreus was saying that, you know,
identical.
Like he'd been around, but yeah,
he's still coming of age still. He still hasn't learned yet. Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, this is literally supposed to be consecutively, like right after. You know, when we see Thor land with his hammer at the very end of 1, this is supposed to be right after.
They changed the voice of the kid. You noticed that, right? It's a completely
different voice. Did they alter it a little bit?
Yeah.
Or did they make him sound a little bit older?
They did, but if you're saying that it's right after, then how do they do that?
Maybe
because I thought maybe he'd be a little older too.
Maybe it gives us like a what happened when Thor arrived, and then there's like a time break.
Maybe there's a time skip.
There's a time jump.
Yeah, maybe there's a time skip.
And maybe that's why.
That would work.
He looks slightly.
He does look a little bigger, doesn't he? Like
he
a year or two older.
Bit older.
Yeah, he does look like a year or two older.
Not by much, but
he looks like he's 11 now instead of 9, right? Like he looks a little bit older.
But it's funny they still got the head, the dude's head that they chopped off and kept with them and stuff like that, you know. And I thought it was really interesting that they were showing the Blades of Chaos a lot. Like they just decided, oh, we're gonna bring that back like heavy.
I think you start with it.
You might.
Because that's what you got
didn't you acquire the Chains of Chaos?
Later in the game.
Yeah, like towards the very end, right? Yeah, so, I mean, it's interesting that they would give you what you started off,
I love
what you
the Chains
ended
of
with.
Chaos. I can't wait to play with them again.
That's kind of cool then at that point, right? Because then it feels like it's really just a progression. Like you didn't get another setback. You know how like God of War, you know, you juiced your guy up and everything, and then God of War 2, he gets set back. And then he's got to build himself back up again.
Right.
And then God of War 3 is
like
the same thing. You know, you get a setback to come back, you know. But this seems like you just kept moving forward.
We're playing with Thor's hammer this time, right?
You got to, dude.
We're going to be playing with that hammer.
You got to take Thor's hammer.
I know we're going to be using it.
You got to be worthy,
I know we're going to get to play with it.
It's got to be worthy.
We got to play with it, man. We got to, man.
But, I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to the damn game.
I agree with you, though, dude. Like, this looked just like 2018.
Yeah.
Like, it's still, you know.
Well, 2018 or was it 20?
God of War 2018.
Was it? Did it come out in 2018?
Yeah, it came out in 2018.
Yeah, that's a while away. Yeah. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff. A lot of the enemies kind of looked similar.
It's the same. It's the same engine verbatim. I mean, this is how we know, dude. Like, this looks done.
It does.
I'm sorry, like.
But do you think it's coming out 2022, or you think it's a 2023?
I think it's 2022 for sure.
Why didn't they give us a coming out this year? You know, with a good season or something, or just at least 2022? Why didn't they give us that?
That's a good point. I don't know. This game looks done. It's the exact same engine. It's the exact same environment. Like, they didn't change anything. It's not like
they might have added a few environments here, just a few, probably.
We're
but
still
not
up
much.
in the Norse cold region. Like, it's not like we went to Egypt.
Yeah.
It's not like we went to somewhere completely different, right? Like, and we're fighting
Yeah.
Egyptian gods.
Yeah.
Like, it's the exact same environment. Come on, man. This shouldn't. I see why they wanted to release it this year. I bet you they're damn further along than like they're letting us on.
Maybe.
And now it's in the can. It's the whole can maneuver. Throw it in
think,
the can.
You think maybe
we'll
it's
save
like
it.
maybe like March?
No, I'm
or
thinking
April?
No, holiday next year.
Oh yeah,
I'm thinking a holiday next
You think
year.
they'll wait?
Mm-hmm. They're not going to put it anywhere near Forbidden West.
So they can make it like a PS5 seller then?
It's going to be like Forbidden West beginning of the year. We'll probably get something middle of the year, and then this will be at the end of the year.
You don't think they would put this at the middle of the year?
Nah, dude, this is going to be their winter carry. Like, this is going to be like October.
This is going to be what sells them some more PS5s for Christmas.
I'm guessing September, October we see this.
Okay.
I think it's done. They're just polishing it.
Yeah.
And they're just canning it and waiting to release it next year.
I would much rather prefer that they held on to a finished game until they were just like looking for the right prime spot to not step on any toes for any of their first party games or whatever. So I would much rather they had the time to just keep polishing it. You know what I mean? Like, just keep working on it.
That's
keep
what I think it is.
Even better. It's ready, but just keep testing it and finding little bugs and fixing them.
That way, I know when they announce it, it's for real.
Polished product, yeah.
And that I would prefer that too. Like, if studios could just like make games and Tony cans them,
yeah,
and then waits, even if they wait a year or whatever, and then they reveal it, and then like when they give you a date, it's for real.
Right.
Yeah, not like a game's half finished, but we're gonna announce it anyways.
Exactly.
We're gonna give you a date anyways. No, how about you wait till it's done? So like I'm totally fine them being done. It looks done, and I can see why they thought they could have probably hit 2021 because it looks largely done. But I think they're just gonna can it until 2022.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be the second half of the year.
For sure.
We'll see though, man.
Yeah. But all right, that was it for this week's episode. We went through all of that stuff. The majority of this was pretty much the PlayStation showcase, but there was a lot there to check out. I should be able to get the video for the PlayStation event on here, hopefully. If not, sorry, we'll drop a link in the video or something like that so you guys can see that. But yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, hit the like button. We appreciate you as always, and we'll catch you guys next week. Deuces.
Peace.
See you.
I love you, me.